Children are one of the greatest gifts bestowed on us. The experience of becoming a parent is a magical journey that starts with tiny bundles of joy and smiles that melt your heart. That's the sentiment of many young couples. They begin their life together, dreaming of a house full of children.
Both of us come from really large families. He's got like 12 siblings. I got 8. And so just growing up with that amount of love around you just makes you feel like, you know, putting it into your own family, that many children would be that much more love kind of thing, right?
The couple grew increasingly distressed over the years as they tried to start the family they desired so badly.
And so then it came the time when we had to decide, you know what, it's enough, 5 years, fertility specialists, drugs, you know, my emotions was crazy because of all the medication or whatever. And that's when I knew, like, you know what, Kim, it's time to stop. It's time to stop, it's over. We need to change our prayer.
The couple then decided to look into adoption. When they arrived at social services, they went through the initial stages of finding a child that could become a part of their family.
So we went to social services office and she handed us a book and sorry.
Yeah, we went to the social services office and it was kind of like going through like a Sears catalog. It was this big, thick book and it was just full of kids with special needs that were looking to be adopted out.
After flipping through a binder of countless children's profiles, Darren and Kim found their baby.
Well, like turning page after page was like, oh my goodness, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we turned, was like, oh, that's my son. That's what it was. That was my first thing. That's my son. Look, that's our son right there. Do you remember that? That's our son.
The Simmons family finally had the child they always dreamt about. Scotty was born with Down syndrome and heart disease. After 9 months of home studies and 40 hours of classes on raising children with intellectual challenges, the government of Alberta flew Darren and Kim out to Calgary to see their son.
Well, I was down in Scotty's room and we were, I don't know what we were playing, something silly. And the phone rang and I answered it and she said, is this Kim Simmons, the home of Darren and Kim Simmons? And I said, yes. And she said, we have a baby. He's blonde hair, blue eyes. He's just 2 months old and he's up for adoption. And she said, oh yeah, would you like him? And I said, is there anything else about him? And she said, well yes, he was born with Down syndrome and he's got very, very bad heart disease. And so I said, yeah, we'll take him. And she said, well, maybe you should call your husband first and ask him. So I said, okay, I'll call you back in 10 minutes. So Darren was at work and I called him at work. I told him and Darren's like, so he's really, really sick, is he? And I said, yeah, he's got a bad heart. And he's like, well, career's gonna have to go on hold indefinitely. And I said, oh, I can do that. And he said, you sure? I said, yeah. I said, you sure? Yeah. He said, okay, tell him we'll go down and get him next week.
One day, while shopping with the boys, Ken met a young woman known as Rusty. Rusty inquired about the boys and told Ken that they should participate in the Special Olympics.
When we started, like, you know, they had friends when we go to the events with bowling, and then we come away and then it would just be a regular week of going to school. And, you know, they did parties or whatever, but we realized very, very quickly that it was their friends in the Special Olympics family that was going to be their friends for life, was going to be their best friends. That was the truth of life. That was life for us. And we accepted it 100%, no reservations, because that's what you want for your kid. You want your kid to grow. You want your kid to have best friends and fun and sleepovers and parties and outings and playground and beaches and, you know, and once we got into the Special Olympics, they had it all. Starting with wanting to have children, God was always our our center, our core. And we always went to God for guidance and for blessings and, you know, how our life was going to be. And then he blessed us with Scotty and Jonah. And all through their life, we would always go back to God and say, God, what is the next thing we need to do? What is the next thing we need to do? And so that summer that we met Rusty, I love you, Rusty. That summer that we met Rusty, and she told us about the Special Olympics. That was God's next stage for us.
The Simmons show incredible amount of dedication and spirit in their coaching and athleticism. The passion this family brings to the Special Olympics community helps athletes lead better lives through sport. And in the words of the Simmons family, God is first, Special Olympics is second.